is Jeopardy! Please welcome today's contestant. Player 1. Player 2. Player 3. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Jeopardy. You all look eager to get underway, so let's get right into it. And we have one daily double awaiting you in these categories. Eat Well. Best Female Rock Vocal Grammys. You're So Subtractive. Museums. That's My Ma. And Asian History. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player 1, make a selection. It's 237 minus 113. Let's hear it, Player 1. Right you are. Player 1, choose again. 117 minus 47 minus 10 equals this. It's Player 1. Yes. Player 1, back to you for our next selection. 99 minus 55 minus 33 minus 11 equals this. It's Player 1. Right you are. Player 1, back to you for our 1127 minus 121 minus 116 equals this. It's Player 1. No, that's not right. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, Player 3? You are correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 3. Make us The great men of France, circa 1780, are immortalized in the Grand Homme Gallery of this museum. Player 1? That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of categories, Player 1. The highlight of Argentina's National History Museum in this city is Candido Lopez's historical canvases. Here's the correct response. Buenos Aires. You get to pick again, Player 1. All right, here with the clue is Jimmy.
New York's Museum of Modern Art exhibits paintings that feature this technique in which tiny dots of color seem to blend together.
Player 1? That's right. Way to go.
Yeah! Woo!
Player 1, choose again. Works by Titian, Raphael, and others sold by the USSR to Andrew Mellon became the core of this D.C. museum. Here's what we wanted. The National Gallery of Art. Player 1, choose again. Answer, the Daily Double. And you have the lead. Decide on your wager, Player 1. All right, here's your clue. The Atheneum in Hartford, Connecticut bears the name of this founder. No relation to Longfellow. You have maintained your lead. Way to go. Please pick again, player 1. Eat a salad with this vegetable that can be classified as butterhead, crisphead, leaf, or romaine. Okay, player 1. Good. You again, player 1. Some of the recommended whole types of this food pyramid product are quinoa, millet, sorghum, and barley. Player 2. Right. Yeah! Okay, let's get back into this. Player 2, you make the next selection as we come. Among legumes, a good source of protein are peas and this type of seed, such as the pinto, white, or black variety. Let's hear it, player 1. That is correct. Where do we begin, player 1? Let's get Kelly's assistance on this clue.
Seen here is the hobo sign, meaning that this staple of life is available ahead.
Okay, player 1. Right. You get to pick again, player 1. If you want to go nuts, eat this nut native to Brazil and taken to Asia by Portuguese missionaries. It's player 3.
Oh.
Anyone else? Here's the correct response. The cashew. Player 1, choose again. 1995. You ought to know. Okay, player 1. That's correct. Player 1, back to 1994. Come to my window. Yes, player 1. Good for you. You again, player 1. 1979. Hot stuff. It's player 1. Yep.
Yeah! Woo!
Please pick again, player 1981. Fire and ice. Okay, player 3. Yep, good. Back on the plus side. Player 3, make a selection, please, as we continue. 2000. There goes the neighborhood. Here's what we were looking for. Sheryl Crow. Please pick again, player 3. From the Latin for diminish, it's the term for a number from which another number is subtracted. It's player 1. Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Here's the response we were looking for. The minuend. You get to pick again, player 3. In 1758, Ben Franklin issued his last publication of this annual. Here's what we were looking for. Poor Richard's Almanac. You get to pick again, player 3. Game fish of the family Istiophoridae with a pointed snout. Player 1. Yep. Okay, let's get back into this. A doctor who specializes in the treatment of skin diseases. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right. Player one. Pick again. All right, here with the clue is Kelly.
Its silhouette is seen here.
Okay, player one.
Yeah!
Player one, back to you. Dr. Faustus, playwright. Player two. Good for you. Player two, start us. In the 1920s, the Kemalists opposed the Sultan in this country and eventually prevailed. Here's the response we were looking for. Turkey. Player two, you pick again, please. In December of 1946, he attacked the French at Tonkin, beginning a war that ended 8 years later. Here's the correct response. Ho Chi Minh. Player two, back to you. In 1739, the peacock throne built for Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan was stolen by these people. Here's what we were looking for. The Persians. Please pick again. Player two. In 1782, when Chao Phraya Chakri became King Rama I, he moved his capital across the river to this city. Yes, player two. No.
Oh!
Any other takers? Here's the response we were looking for. Bangkok. And the last clue for $1,000. Here's Kelly.
These nomadic horsemen, who overran most of Asia in the Middle Ages, lived in portable lattice tents known as yurts.
Here's the correct response. The Mongols. Player two, you're going first in the Double Jeopardy round when we return. Categories for the Double Jeopardy round are Women's Firsts, Broadway Debuts, Compound Words, Gems and Jewelry, Mythical Menagerie, and Under the Sea. All right, player two. As promised, you pick first in... What do you mean I'm funny looking? I'm just this fish, also known as an anemone fish. Yes, player one? Correct.
Yeah! Woo!
A lot of clues, a lot of categories, player one. Make a select. This aromatic herb of the genus Nepeta will drive your feline crazy. Okay, player one. Good for you. Select again. Swallowtail, viceroy, and monarch are types of this insect. Yes, player one. You got it. Please pick again, player one. If you've gone this, you might have said something extreme or fallen from the Queen Mary. Okay, player one. That's it. Please pick again, player
Looking
one.
for a needle in one of these is a metaphor for an impossible search.
Player one? Right. Player one, choose again.
In days of yore, women sometimes rode in this style, meaning both feet on the same flank of the horse.
Player one? Yes. Player one, back to you.
Legacy rings inspired by the Edwardian era are exclusive to this preeminent Fifth Avenue jeweler.
Here's what we wanted.
Tiffany.
Player one, choose again.
Miss Tamblin knows that lots of jewelry is made from this brownish-yellow fossil resin.
It's player one. Yes.
Yeah! Woo!
Select again.
In 1974, the newly discovered gem Tsavorite got its name derived from this continent's Tsavo National Park.
Here's what we were looking for.
Africa.
You get to pick again, player
Here's
one. Jimmy to start us off.
Headdresses of silver or white beads are common among the Aka, a tribe indigenous to the southeast part of this continent.
Here's what we wanted.
Asia.
Player one, pick again.
The name of this romantic ring comes from an old Irish fishing village that's now part of Galway.
Here's the response we were looking for.
A claddagh.
We return to you, player one.
Nessus, one of these half-horse creatures, tried to abduct Hercules' wife.
Big mistake. The correct response is
A centaur.
player one, back.
Every 500 years or so, this bird was reborn from its own ashes.
Okay, player one.
That's correct.
Player one, back.
The first of Hercules' 12 labors was to slay the Nemean this. Afterwards, he wore its skin.
Here's what we wanted.
A lion.
Player one, you pick again, please.
It warms the depths of my heart to know you're about to tell me the name of this small edible clam.
Okay, player one. Right. We return to you, player
This
one.
rare fish, discovered in 1938, has been called a living fossil.
Yes, player one. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? Yes, player two.
Yeah!
Where do we begin, player two? Here's Kelly. She'll show you.
These colorful organisms of the class Anthozoa include blue, precious, and horny species.
We're talking about
Corals.
player two. You pick again, please. One of the daily doubles. You're in second place, so what is your wager going to be? Decide on your way. The clue. The blue whale is the largest member of this order of animals. Sorry, that's wrong. The correct response is
Cetacea.
Player 2. You pick again, please. It wasn't hard for this Lernean serpent to get ahead. Every time one of its heads was cut off, 2 grew in its place. Here's what we wanted.
The hydra.
Player 2. Pick again. She was a beautiful nymph before she was turned into a sea monster, doomed to live in a cave opposite Charybdis. Yes, player 3? Sorry, that's wrong. Anyone else care to try to come up with a correct response? The correct response is
Scylla.
Player 2, back to you for our next selection. He made his debut as Katharine Hepburn's grandson in A Matter of Gravity, before flying high as Superman. The correct response is
Christopher Reeve.
Player 2, back to you. Let's show her a little RESPECT. She's the first woman inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay, player 1. Yes. Player 1, start us. Let's go over to Sarah.
In 2007, Drew Gilpin Faust became the first female president in the 371-year history of this picturesque university.
Here's what we were looking for. Harvard. Player 1, choose again. Registering as Kay Switzer in 1967, Catherine Switzer became the first woman to officially enter and run this race. Yes, player 3? Correct. Player 3, you start us off. Frances Perkins became the first woman cabinet member when FDR put her to work as secretary of this. We're talking about labor. Player 3, back to you for our next selection. Answer, the second daily double. Player 3, you are currently in last. How much? Here is your daily double clue. Wilma Mankiller was the first woman to serve as principal chief of this Southeast Native American tribe. You are now in second place. You again, player 3. In 1995, Jolie Fisher made her Broadway debut as Rizzo in this musical. It's the word. It's player 1. That's correct. A lot of clues, a lot of... In 1999, Susan Lucci took aim at Broadway and made her debut as the title gal in this musical. Here's the response we were looking for. Annie, get your gun. Please pick again, player 1. In 2006, in her first big project since giving birth to twins, she starred on Broadway in 3 Days of Rain. Here's the response we were looking for.
Julia Roberts.
And we'll wrap up the board with this clue.
He made his debut starring opposite Natasha Richardson in Anna Christie. They were married soon after. Here's the correct response. Liam Neeson. I'll see you all for Final Jeopardy in just a moment. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Musical history. What are you going to wager? Here's your Final Jeopardy clue. It's the nursery rhyme that inspired the title of a famous musical based on a 1913 George Bernard Shaw work. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will lose you. Let's see your response. And that correct response will add. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will set you back. Congratulations, player one. You're the winner. So long.